Hello everyone. In this short video, I will give you a little introduction to the web host control panel. So once you are logged into your web host control panel, your interface would look something like that. So once you sign up for your web hosting account, your web host would give you username and the password to log into your web host control panel. And once you are logged in, this is your control panel interface. So as you can see on the left panel, you have a whole bunch of information that you need to get familiar with, like what is your main domain, what's the home directory, last login was from this IP address. It's good to know who actually logged into your account, because web hosts, they generally manage those control panels to make sure everything is running smooth. How much space you are using, depending on how big of the account you have. Some people have 50 GB, some people have 1000 GB, depending on how big your account is. So it will show you how much space you are using on the web host control panel. Monthly bandwidth. This is actually a transfer limit on your web hosting control panel. Some people have unlimited, some people have limited. So this one has 150 GB, so it's limited. But still, this is large. So generally, people don't reach 150 GB. Email accounts, add-on domains, subdomains, park domains, FTP accounts, SQL databases, and all this is the little information here. So you don't need to know all of that, but when you get chance, just go ahead and Google all these terms and try to find out what is what, because in this short video we won't be able to cover all of that in details. Now here in this first section you see files. So these are a whole bunch of files. These files are related to your websites. So if you go in the file manager, and if you have any website installed on your web host control panel, you will have all the whole bunch of different files. So you need to focus is on public HTML folders. So go ahead and click on this. So this is exit your website directories. So I'm going to go ahead and click here and see WP content. This is where your themes and plugins are stored. So now if you have any problems with your website, you need to go here and see what is going on. You might have to disable all the plugins at the same time. You might have to change your theme or delete the theme and install new one to restore your settings or save your website. So these are a bunch of things that you could do here. So this is actually the file manager. This is where you would manage your files. Let's go back to the home page, and you could protect your directory. You can see how much disk space you are using and all this something. Now here it is the backup wizard. So if you want to back up your control panel, this is the web host control panel, you could go ahead and click on this backup button, and what actually it will do is backup home directory, SQL databases, email forwarding configuration, email filters configuration. So anything you have on your web host control panel, you could back up right here. So if anything goes wrong, for God's sake, you lose every website, or something goes wrong, or someone hack into your web host system. So this is the best way that you could restore all of your websites at once. So once you back up all this, it would be backed up, and you will have a zip file that you could use and save it on your local computer or flash drive. So now if anything goes wrong, you could use the restore option. So once you hit the restore, you will give you option to upload all of your files back to your web host control panel. And you could also use this method if you're planning to move from one host to another host. You could also back up your files from this end and restore it at the new web host control panel. So these are the basic things that you need to know if you're planning to run an online business. Otherwise, you would be calling tech support, and sometimes you would get the support, sometimes you don't, or sometimes you would end up waiting 24 to 48 hours to see what is going on with your website. So it's good to know basic information that what's going on with your website and what you can do about it. Let's go back to the home page. This is PHPMyAdmin. This is actual manual management of your site databases, or if you totally forgot your WordPress password and you forgot even username, you even forgot which email address did you use to create your admin account. So you could go in this PHP My Admin and reset the password manually, because I see so many people struggle with that issue. They totally forget the password and the username and the email address they used to build their website in the first place. You could go right here and change the password manually. And this is where you could manage your databases. So this is actual information you need. So in case if anything goes wrong, you need to go in the MySQL databases and fix that to see what's the problem. You could search about this on Google, try to learn as much as possible. This is the domain section. So how many domains are hosted or parked on your website, they all would be listed here. If you want to add new domain, click the add on domain button and add new domain to your website. This is simple zone editor and advanced zone editor. So these two sections are used to enter DNS setting on your web host control panel. If you were to use third-party services, you probably have to go ahead and verify your domain before you could use third-party services. Like if you want to use a Gmail account for your business purposes, you have to go in this section and enter the settings that Google gives you and just put them right here to verify your domain. This is email section. This is where you could create as many as email accounts you like admin@yourdomain.com or support@yourdomain.com, or if your name is michael@mydomain.com. So you could create as many as email addresses you like. But just keep in mind that web host email accounts, they are not reliable email accounts. They sometimes crash and go down, and sometimes they get blacklisted. Because if you're on the shared web hosting server, if someone decides to spam and send like hundreds of emails to the different mail providers to Yahoo or Google or anyone, they will block your email and you won't be able to send your email to anyone. So try not to use those email settings and email here. Use third-party services. Specifically for me, I use Google Apps for Work. Very reliable, and hey, Google is the big guy in the town, so their emails are pretty secure. And when you pay them for professional email services, they actually manage and help you with the blacklisting, that your emails would never get blacklisted. They would make sure that you stay up to date with your all the emails. So that's really good to know. This is metrics. So in the email section, before I go to the metrics, you can see the mail settings, forwarders, autoresponders, default address. So there are a whole bunch of options you could go ahead and play with. Generally, your web host would give you information about this feature. You could go on their support section and see what is what, or you could go on the cPanel forums and knowledge base, the databases, to see what kind of information you need. So you could go ahead and search that information and find out how to use one of these features. Metrics. So here you could see your site visitors. Here you could see errors. If you have any problems on your website, you could go on this section and it will give you what is going on. Raw access, Avastate. This is another piece of software that you could use to see how many visitors you have. That's the security section. This is kind of advanced, so you don't want to use that unless you know what to do with it. This is IP blocker. So if someone are trying to hack into your website over and over again, or someone is keep trying to sign up for fake accounts, you could go ahead and block their IP address from right here. Go ahead and click IP blocker and put their IP address and block it completely from your web hosting panel. Here you could optimize your website for better performance and better speed. This is the Softiculous apps installer. Almost every host provides that. So this is, let me go ahead and give you a little overview what it is. So here you can see there's a whole bunch of applications. So these are actual web design softwares. You could use them to design your customized website. So the WordPress is one of the most flexible software here in all of this to use to do anything, to build any kind of websites. You want dating website, you want membership website, you want e-commerce website, or any type of website you are looking for. You need an event management website, you need to manage your courses online. You could use WordPress to do almost anything that you need to do online. So I wanted to give you a little introduction of this. In another video we will learn how to install the WordPress, but in this video I just wanted to give you a little overview of how the web host control panel look like. So this is the software section, and this is advanced, so we generally don't do anything with that. Your web host guy generally manages all of that for you in the back end. You could run this virus scanner often, just to see if you have any problems with your web hosting control panel. If you have any kind of viruses on your web hosting control panel, you could scan it here, and if you have any problem you could remove them accordingly. Here is the advanced preferences you could use: password and security, change language. You could change the language of this control panel, change style. If you want a different design, you could change the design right here. Update your contact information and manage your users. And this is SoftwareKillers apps installer, just like as we talked about earlier. So here you could see that it supports like whole bunch of applications. It generally takes like a minute or less to install any of these applications. So this is just the the little short overview of web host control panel. So once you have a web hosting account, you will have this interface. So what this interface does is you could manage your website from the very back end. So like going into the WordPress dashboard, you could manage front end of your website. But if you have a serious problem with your website got hacked, or you can't view your website anymore, or you have some kind of PHP error or HTML error, any kind of error, you need to go in this web hosting control panel to figure out what's the problem. But when you have an error, generally you see on the screen what the error is, and you could go in the exact location of that file and try to switch that file or fix the error. And you could actually post those questions online and ask someone for help. There are dozens of forums and discussion areas where actually you could go and ask people for help, and they would actually provide you solution. So this is actually how you manage your website from the web host control panel. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me any questions you have below this video, or send me an email, and I would be happy to answer your questions. Thank you for watching this video, and see you in next video.